Coming right up, a special edition of Straight Talk, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Our guest tonight, Jim Michaelian, President, CEO of the Grand Prix Association of Long Beach, as we continue our 25th anniversary year.
Straight Talk is brought to you in part by the Port of Long Beach, a leader in international trade and environmental stewardship. And the Press Telegram, your local news leader for over 100 years. And Scan Health Plan, for your health and independence.
Join us for tonight's edition of Straight Talk. And now your host, Art Levine.
Good evening and welcome to Straight Talk. We have a wonderful show for you tonight featuring the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Our guest again, the famous, the one, the only Jim Michaelian, President and CEO of the Grand Prix Association of Long Beach. Jim, welcome back to our show.
It's great to be with you again, Art.
My God, 43 years.
That's right.
That's a long time, and you've been with the race from the beginning.
Yes, I've had the privilege of being involved from 1975, and this indeed will be our 43rd year, and we're looking forward to having a great weekend of activity and a lot of events that will precede that too.
It's a fun weekend. I think I've been to all but 2 of the 43 races, and
we usually have it around your birthday too sometimes.
So it's a week early this year, right. But we can live with that. We have a roll-in that will get everyone in a racing frame of mind. Let's take a look. Jim, great energy in that role, and it gives you a sense of what
well, we're calling
on.
This year bigger, better, and faster, and those really are going to be the ingredients that people can expect when they come to the event this year. We're having 6 races. It'll be headlined by the Verizon Indy cars. Simon Pagenaud actually won a race last year and is also the reigning series champion will be there, and other people will be competing like Scott Dixon and James Hinchcliffe, and so there'll be a good, strong field for Indy cars.
Will Power
be there.
John Castrodretti's, Sebastian.
Helio Castroneves and Marco Andretti and Graham Rahal. So all the names are essentially all back again, and they'll be competing on Sunday afternoon in a live show on NBCSN. And we also have the sports cars from IMSA, the Bubba Burger sports car race there on Saturday. That also is going to be live. It's going to be live on Fox Network, which will be great for the city because of the exposure that the network
And the race
gets.
itself is on
NBCSN
live
NBCSN Sports
throughout
Network,
the country and the world.
Actually. So there will be live racing for 5 hours on that weekend. Live racing, which will a great way to foreshadow all of the assets that Long Beach has. To offer, especially in the downtown domain down there. So it's a great opportunity for people.
It's probably the single biggest promotion of the year for the city of Long Beach.
Yeah, eventually there'll be 10 hours of actual programming time that'll emanate from the other races there. Robbie Gordon's stadium trucks, and we've got drifting at night,
which is very exciting.
Really exciting, Friday and Saturday night. We have Pirelli World Challenge, which will be also be competing on Sunday. So when you get done looking at all of those events and the television coverage of it, and also the media coverage too, we have over 600 credentialed people that come out to the race, photographers, internet, columnists, etc. Why, there's a significant amount of coverage that emanates from every one of these races.
Well, I like to call it Long Beach's spring break because it comes in April and the weather's changing and everyone's ready to get out and have a good time. And as you pointed out many times, probably half the people there don't care that much about the race, but they want to be part of the atmosphere.
And we're very cognizant of that. And while we spend a lot of time putting together the racing package, if you would, the series that are going to come and run, we're also do a lot of planning that's focused on meeting the expectations of our fans with regard to the non-racing action. And this year, we put together what I think is going to be a unique opportunity for people to come and really enjoy themselves. We have 2 concerts which we traditionally have had. Friday, the Tecate Light Fiesta Friday event will feature Moderato, who have been there before and were a big hit, and
yes.
It's being brought back by Tecate, which I think will be a sensational value to a lot of our Friday guests. And then on Saturday, we really
something really special.
Devoted a lot of time and energy to put together what will be our largest and most expansive show ever on our Saturday night rock and roll concert. And it's based around a sort of a unique concept. The backdrop to it is it's organized under the Kings of Chaos name, which is the name of the backup band, which features the drummer Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses and guys from the Stone Temple Pilots. But the lead singers who are going to come rolling through here, Billy Idol,
wow,
Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, and Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. And what they're going to do is they're all going to come out and sing their individual songs and rotate through. It's going to be 90 minutes.
Wow.
A vast variety of musical sounds, flavors, and tastes. But we think it's going to be something that's going to have a very broad appeal and should maximize the attendance at that event. In fact, we're looking to see what we're going to do for the overflow that might emanate from it.
I often am leaving, and there are thousands of people already lined up waiting in front of the Terrace Theater for the concert. I'm there early, and I'm about exhausted by 5 or 6 o'clock, but they're just starting, and this looks like a home run.
I got a feeling you might want to stick around.
I want to stick around for that. Okay, we'll be continuing our conversation with Jim, but first we have to pause for these messages.
At the Port of Long Beach, we're not only delivering jobs, smart ideas, and forward-thinking environmental initiatives, we're also delivering opportunity for all of Southern California. Oh, and a clearer horizon line. To learn more, go to POLB.com. The Port of Long Beach, thinking outside the docks.
Water conservation. Bigger, better, faster. The 43rd Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach returns April 7th through the 9th. 6 exciting racing series including Indy cars, sports cars, historic Can-Am, super stadium trucks, and drifting under the lights. And 2 great concerts. Saturday night, Kings of Chaos featuring Billy Idol, Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top, and Chester Bennington of Linkin Park. And Fiesta Friday with Moderato. All free with your admission ticket. America's #1 street race gets even better.
We're back continuing a conversation with Jim Michaelian, Mr. Grand Prix, the president and CEO of the Grand Prix Association of Long Beach. What's new this year, Jim?
Well, I mentioned the 5 races that are being encompassed on our race weekend, but there's a 6th one we've added. As you know, last year was the concluding year for the Toyota Pro Celebrity Race. So this year we went out and looked for an event that we could slot into that Saturday program that would be something new, different, and exciting for our fans to experience. And we found what I think is just the thing, and that is the Can-Am Challenge. These are cars that used to race from 1966 to 1974, and they were the beasts of road racing in those days, okay? They were closed wheel, open cockpit cars, 1,000 horsepower or more.
Oh my God.
They were ferocious beasts to handle, and when they come out on Saturday afternoon, 20 of them, and fire up on Shoreline
You'll hear
Drive,
it.
you're going to hear it in East Long Beach.
Let's take a look.
I mean, these cars were challenging to drive, as you can actually see in the video. They are monstrosities, and it took really talented people to come out and compete in those cars. And when people feel the visceral effect of that many cars with that much horsepower, we think it's going to be
The sound,
really
the
exciting
vibrations.
component.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
Nice addition. And of course, the Lifestyle Expo continues this year.
The Lifestyle, I can tell you now, is already virtually sold out. We have major manufacturers in there from a number of different automobile companies. We've got a lot of simulators and activities that the whole family can engage in. And then we have the Kids Zone, where kids can come in and participate in a number of activities, not the least of which is the little electric go-karts, which are designed
These
for
are the
kids.
future drivers.
This is their first start at getting in a
Get some
car and
hooks.
actually be able to drive one.
Get some hooks.
It's really an exhilarating
And
experience.
the Lifestyle Expo is included, in the course of the ticket.
Absolutely. And by the way, just to reconfirm that, the concerts, which we talked about previously, are also included
And how
in the
much do you
price of the
pay
ticket.
to buy a ticket to one of these concerts?
Right.
It's going to be $50, $100
At least for that
Staples,
only.
just
and,
for
and we don't have a separate ticket for that. So that part of it. And we also have recently signed a deal with K1 Speed to be our official go-kart track provider. So that track will be up on the arena
Roof of the-
garage and will be available all weekend long for people to come out and really try and see how adept they are at driving race cars.
Now,
too.
race weekend runs so smoothly. I mean, you've been doing it for 43 years. You know what you're doing. Your staff knows it. But the Committee of 300 plays an important role in making visitors feel welcome and adding that personal touch, so it's not just a commercial transaction.
Oh, absolutely. We call them the ambassadors of the Grand Prix, and with good reason, too. You know, for a lot of people, the first contact that they have with the Grand Prix after they've gone through the entry gates is the Committee of 300.
The redcoats are there.
Redcoats are there at the information booths. They're there at all the grandstands to assist people in terms of getting up and finding their seats.
And they have their famous Paddock Club, which is a great place to watch the race and have entertainment. And if you want to buy a Paddock Club ticket,
it is the most efficient hospitality buy there is on the weekend for anybody that wants to come. And by the way, we've added an interesting component to that, because we've now engaged the Long Beach Boy Scouts to come out and assist the Committee of 300 with regard to staffing the grandstands and being ushers for that. So it's a great combination. It's a way to integrate a local community group into an event.
and you
like
really
this.
feel the warmth of Long Beach as a visitor coming in and being greeted by those folks. It makes a big difference.
Right.
Thunder Thursday has always been an important part, but there's a little change this year.
Yeah, I mean, Thunder is part of sort of the legacy of what's happening pre-race. It took place. It is always taking place on Thursday night. This year, what we're going to do to be able to accommodate all the people that have come to that, because the numbers are huge, and it's a free event, we've moved it down to the Pike outlets.
It used to be on Pine Avenue.
Used to be
and
on
now
Pine
it's
Avenue.
On the
Now
Pikes.
it's moved down to the Pike outlets, and the competition, the pit stop competition, the freestyle motocross, the motorcycle demonstrations will all take place on the racetrack itself on Shoreline Drive, west of Pine, and there'll be a huge car show, there'll be music, there'll be food, there'll be a beer garden, and that will be located right on the premises of the Pike outlets, which will be a great opportunity for some who haven't had a chance
showcase the Pike,
to come down and see what the city of Long Beach has done in terms of the development down at the
I
Pike.
remember first coming back to downtown, and the only reason ever to go to downtown back in the 70s was for your race, and they had to cover up the Pussycat movie theaters and all that stuff. But each year, besides you building a package of value into the race, Long Beach continues to grow, and now, of course, we're building our new Civic Center, and there's so much activity downtown.
And they've had the dedication for the new expansion of the aquarium,
Yes.
which, when it's completed in a year and a half, 2 years, will be a great addition to that facility. And by the way,
You worked out a deal with the aquarium
exactly,
to accommodate.
it worked out really well. And again, this year, the aquarium will be open on Saturday and Sunday, because we have basically agreed to fence them out so that we will have a transit system from the parking lots to the back of the aquarium, and people can access
We
the
try and be
aquarium.
good neighbors and make...
And you need to, because we're a community event, and we insist that we be a part of the fabric of the community in everything we do. And yes, to a certain degree, the event, has its certain amount of dislocations involved, but we try to do everything we can to minimize that impact and try to provide the opportunity for the various stakeholders down there to participate in the event. And one example of that is in Shoreline Village. We worked with the management down there to bring Toyota's Ferris wheel and put it in the Shoreline Village parking lot, which they did last year to a tremendous success, and they're going to do it again this year. So that gives Deborah Fixon, who's the manager down, the opportunity to tell their clients that, you know what, here's another attraction that will bring more people down into the Shoreline Village area and hopefully, obviously, increase the commerce there.
Well, it's Long Beach's annual spring break. It's Long Beach's certainly moment of many moments in the sun worldwide, and it always amazes me how smoothly you guys make that all happen.
I'll tell you what, it's a credit to the team, and the team not only of the Grand Prix Association, but we have volunteers that come out. You mentioned the Committee of 300. We have race management people. We have a number of hospitality volunteers. That group by itself numbers almost 1,500 people on a weekend.
Wow.
Who come out, dedicate their time and their energy to put on what we like to think of as America's #1 street race.
Civic pride.
Absolutely.
Civic pride.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll be back to the rest of our show after these messages.
How do you like your chances the rest of the way?
I got no idea. But I do know that if we stay with Naples Rib Company, at least we won't go hungry.
Coach, what do you think about some of those questionable calls tonight?
Oh, yeah. But if you want a sound call, I'd call Naples Rib Company. You can't miss on that call.
Then Naples Rib Company is part of your game plan?
There really is nothing more motivating than a great barbecue meal at Naples Rib Company.
Victory or not, Naples Rib Company, great game plan.
Founded in 1976, Polly's Gourmet Coffee is Southern California's most complete gourmet coffee store. Polly's has the best tasting coffee, freshly roasted every day right in the store, plus a wide selection of teas, an in-house bakery, espresso bar, patio dining, and more. We also offer Wi-Fi, free internet access for all of our customers. Our nationwide clientele agree when it comes to coffee, there's only one name to remember, Polly's, 4606 East 2nd Street, welcoming you into Belmont Shore.
Phil Trainees mixes California style with continental cuisine that includes fresh seafood from around the world. Since Phil is the chef, the menu has a wide variety of pastas, salads, soups, and appetizers that feature his unique personal touch. And the Italian-American signature dishes are simply beyond delicious. You never know who you're going to run into at Trainees, from the famous sports legends on the Wall of Fame to local celebrities having a drink at the bar. For the best fine dining experience, visit Phil Trainees.
We're back with our conversation with Jim Michaelian. Jim, I know you like to race on the side. You've been down at Daytona and Dubai. What's that all about? Aren't you a little long in the tooth to be racing cars?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, Art, but no, I mean, that's one of the passions I've always had. I think it's one of the reasons why I've stayed with this job for as long as I have. Not just because of the civic activity that's involved and the opportunity to put on events for people and have them come out and really enjoy themselves and see that expression when they're leaving on Sunday night. But yeah, I do still get out and race. I went to Abu Dhabi this last December and was racing there and on the Formula One track there.
Fantastic.
And even though it's a long 16-hour flight to go and to come back, it was still a great opportunity to go over, and the timing is just right in terms of the year. So I try to do it as much as I can, but obviously with my obligations at the Grand Prix and other activities, why it doesn't happen as frequently as I'd like.
And the Grand Prix Association does many other things besides put on this race. Tell us a few.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we have a very, very efficient operations department led by Dwight Tanaka, and we own a number of assets. I mean, we own virtually all of our grandstands, a lot of our structures. We own the bridges that line the circuit. We own the barriers, obviously.
And you can rent those out to other venues.
So when there's a call from somebody to come in and utilize some of those assets, why we're more than happy to do that. We put grandstands in the Rose Parade. We do all the seating in front of the Academy Awards when you see them going into the theater there for the.
So that's a good source of revenue for these assets that you need.
And keep them occupied during the rest of the year. Just as an example of that, we're now engaged in conversation with taking one of our bridges up to Big Bear to cover the road up there when the Amgen Tour, bike tour, goes through, and they wanted to have a way to transport people over the course, right? So we're going to have one of our bridges all the way up in Big Bear. But it's just an example of how a unique asset can be utilized in an event that people wouldn't assume that you would have the opportunity.
So you're one of the fortunate folks who have found a career that embodies doing what you love anyway.
Yeah, you know, that's always a topic of conversation amongst people who are talking about their aspirational versus their vocational interests. But in my case, that's absolutely true. And
I see you walking around the track race weekend, and you are so cool, calm, and collected, and yet the buck stops with you. Something goes wrong, ultimately, it goes back to you, and yet you're so calm and collected.
But Art, the real justification for all of that is the fact that our staff is so experienced at doing these kinds of events. We've had people there, for example, Dwight's been there like 41 years. We've had other people who've been there for 30 years, some of them 20. The average tenure at our company is a little over 16 years. So when you have that kind of experience,
well, that's a reflection of leadership.
You rely on them to be able to make decisions that need to be made, and if there's significant ones, then obviously they'll percolate up to the top.
And I've seen that logbook that you have, minute by minute, of what's happening through that whole weekend. Everything is worked out.
Yeah, that's absolutely necessary. Otherwise, you fall off schedule, and then it impacts on everybody. So we do a full minute by minute. We review that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings of race week, early in the morning. And then Thursday, when that minute by minute goes into effect, it is the definitive statement on what's going to go on and where it's going to go on, and who's responsible for making sure it goes on all the way through the end of the week.
What is your biggest concern as you go into any given race weekend? I mean, you always want to get the numbers up and everything, but just as putting on the race, what do you worry about the weekend before, the week before?
The things are the obvious ones, the uncontrollable ones, the ones that you sort of are aware could be possibilities, but you don't know the extent of them. In today's day and age, you never know. I mean, there could be any number of incidents that occur. The magnitude of them, what the impact is, how do we react to them, how do we make sure
you have a very robust security protocol.
and we work very closely with the city agencies, federal agencies who are dispersed around to make sure that we can provide the greatest level of safety and security for our customers that we can, and yet afford them the opportunity to come out and enjoy themselves. And as you know, we're a very family-friendly event.
Oh yeah, everyone enjoys themselves, having a beer,
kids 12
wearing
and under
all kinds
free.
of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And we want to maintain that. We want people to say, hey, I'm going to the Grand Prix, I'm bringing my family, I'm bringing my friends,
It'll be
and
a
we're going
safe
to have a good time.
experience.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
We'll be back to the rest of our show after these messages.
Phil Trainees mixes California style with continental cuisine that includes fresh seafood from around the world. Since Phil is the chef, the menu has a wide variety of pastas, salads, soups, and appetizers that feature his unique personal touch. And the Italian-American signature dishes are simply beyond delicious. You never know who you're going to run into at Trainees, from the famous sports legends on the Wall of Fame to local celebrities having a drink at the bar. For the best fine dining experience, visit Phil Trainees.
You've been planning this moment for a long time. It couldn't be a more perfect moment. And you have the perfect ring that will tell her, I want to love you forever. But nothing is perfect.
Don't listen to that guy. He got the ring at McCarty's.
McCarty's makes a moment.
There's a world of opportunity available through the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach. Would you like to move ahead in the field of human resources and personnel management? Sign up for the Human Resources Management Certificate Program. You'll learn how to expand your knowledge and skills and advance in this dynamic industry. For more information, contact the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach.
I think Long Beach is very fortunate to have an event like the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach as part of our community assets. It's been there 43 years, bringing tens and tens of thousands of visitors and hundreds of thousands more watching it on television, worldwide publicity. And it's a great partnership, as Jim mentioned, between the city and the race. So, Jim, any closing words?
Well, we feel like we're really a community event. You know, yes, it has micro implications, like you mentioned, with television and the international component to it, but it really is for the citizens of Long Beach. Either they come to the event, or even if they don't, we want them to feel proud of what the event represents and how it represents the city, and how we have woven ourselves into the fabric of this city in terms of community events, the Grand Prix Foundation, in terms of promotions, bringing kids to the event for free so they can see a sample and a feel for what the event is all about. And in the end, we want to be good citizens, and I think over the last 42 years we've been able to demonstrate that this is an event that we put on not just for outsiders and people to come into the city, but also for the residents of Long Beach to come and take advantage of and to feel proud of having hosted it in their city.
Well said, and thank you and your great staff on behalf of the community for all that you do.
Thank you, Art, and I appreciate your support too over the years. It's been fun.
You bet. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us. Please be with us next week for the next edition of Straight Talk. Good night, everyone.
Straight Talk has been brought to you by the Port of Long Beach, the Press Telegram, and Scan Health Plan. And remember, Straight Talk is viewable 24/7 at straighttalktv.com.
You can beat the world, you can beat the world. talk to God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself. Standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall